College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, Wednesday, 16th of July, 2025, 12:30 p.m. Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham, an institution steeped in discovery and research since 1900. The University of Birmingham was the UK's first civic university, a place designed for everyone, not just the privileged few. Every one of our graduates today is a part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, these events are the highlight of the university calendar and represent for many students the conclusion of their studies at Birmingham. Originally built as a cathedral to learning, the Great Hall never fails to impress our visitors. The building is Grade 2 listed, and it's really the details that make the space so special. It features a trompe-l'oeil domed ceiling located above its formal marble entrance. The entrance is bordered by archways that are designed to draw the eye towards the centre of the room. music you can hear is being performed by our very own student musicians. They often perform versions of modern pop hits or songs with a Birmingham connection. As our graduands wait for the ceremony to start, this is a time for them to reflect on how far they've come. They may think back to the first lecture they attended in a packed lecture hall, making friendships that will last a lifetime. Maybe they're thinking back to their first eureka moment, when their chosen field of study finally clicked into place. Or perhaps they're thinking about late-night debates in the guild, that group project that pushed them to their limits, or the spark of inspiration when they saw their research was really making an impact. Today they close one chapter and open another. A degree from the University of Birmingham is more than just a name on a certificate. Our graduates are recognised by employers for their resilience, creativity, and dedication. Soon, they'll find many exciting opportunities waiting for them. A quick shout out to the staff, students and volunteers who have made this special day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, a reminder to share your photos from today on social media. Make sure to tag our accounts so we can engage with your moment. audience is a mixture of graduates who sit in the back of the hall and their loved ones who are seated near the stage. During the ceremony, the graduands will make their way up to the stage, accept their scroll, and be applauded by their families and fellow students. In the sea of formal robes in the ceremony, attendees may spot black gowns, red and green gowns, and possibly some other eye-catching colours. The black robes are worn by those graduating with their bachelor's and master's. Green and red robes are for those picking up a doctorate degree. To the families, friends and supporters watching from home today, your encouragement, pep talks and well-timed cups of tea have helped our graduates reach this day. Let's take a moment to appreciate the parents who still don't quite understand what their child studied, but are immensely proud regardless. Well done, everyone. You've earned this celebration. Now it's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by two mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation, students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
I declare the congregation open.
Good afternoon to you all and welcome to the University of Birmingham. It's wonderful that you've been able to join us here today. As Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of the College for Engineering and Physical Sciences, it's my pleasure to welcome you, our graduands, and your friends, family and supporters to your graduation ceremony. We're all here today to celebrate the completion of your educational journey with all the ups and downs of study and university life that it will have entailed. Congratulations, you did it. So this is the moment you've been working towards. To get here, you will have spent time exploring new ideas and experiencing the thrill of intellectual discovery. You may have had coffee-fueled debates with your fellow students during late-night study sessions. You may have tackled seemingly insurmountable problems and overcome them. You may think that you've only been here to study your academic discipline that you're passionate about, but you'll have learnt so much more on the way. You'll have learnt about perseverance, about balancing work and play, and about the value of friendship and community. All of these lessons are ones that you'll carry with you long after you leave this hall. Many of you will be leaving education behind and readying yourselves to dive into the real world. But I urge you not to lose the spark of curiosity that you've nurtured during your studies here. Keep listening to that voice in your head that says, "Go on, have a look, see what's out there." Keep asking why, how, and what if. Keep seeking out new knowledge. This will lead you in the direction of the best of adventures and will provide you with rich stories to tell. Today is an especially meaningful day, as we're not only celebrating a big milestone in your life, but also in the life of the university as we mark our 125th anniversary. Together, we've been celebrating this special milestone in memorable ways. You may remember seeing Old Joe lit up in vibrant colours at the start of the year, and you might have taken some selfies in front of him with your friends. For a few months, the clock tower became a beacon of light that announced our celebration right across the city. In the spring, we reaffirmed our connection to our community by signing the Birmingham Civic Agreement, strengthening our commitment to serving the city and the region as a civic institution. As summer arrived, you'll have hopefully found a time to enjoy all of the events and social activities on offer in the Green Heart as part of UOB Extra. And you may also have enjoyed our Come to Campus festival and concert a couple of weeks ago. The sun shone down on thousands of students, alumni, staff and neighbours who all came together to celebrate our anniversary. It was a day of discovery, from exploring the Lapworth Museum of Geology to visiting the Winterbourne House and Garden to experiencing the cutting-edge research that really defines our university. And then in the evening, under the open sky, the university's Philharmonic and Jazz Orchestras, alongside special guest performers, delivered a powerful tribute to Birmingham's rich musical heritage, from the elegance of Elgar to the electric spirit of ELO. It was a celebration that was proudly Brummie and unmistakably ours. And it was also a reminder that this university has always been about more than buildings and books. It's the people who bring it to life. I'm genuinely proud to be standing here on behalf of a university where inspirational people do inspirational things and where every day we have the ability to change lives for the better. Today, I and my colleagues am inspired by what you have achieved. Let's take a moment now to acknowledge those who've played a crucial role in your achievements to date. Behind me here are just some of our university community who've encouraged your intellectual curiosity, nurtured your creativity, and inspired you to question and explore. You will also have been supported by tutors, by student support teams, by people in labs and others. And I invite you now to thank everyone who's supported you during your time here at university. Now, sitting in front of me and tuning in from all corners of the globe are your friends, families, and supporters. They're armed with tissues and cameras and iPhones. They're brimming with pride for all that you've achieved. You'll all have that person or those people who had faith in you, people who supported you and showed you kindness, and without whom you wouldn't be here. Graduands, let's give a round of applause and a huge cheer to say thank you to all of your supporters and to the people who made it possible for you. Soon you will come up onto the stage and Professor Deborah Longworth, the Pro-Vice-Chancellor Education, will admit you to your degree. This is your moment. When your name is read out, that will be your graduation. And family and friends, that's your cue to make a lot of noise. So some final advice. Please do be careful on the steps. Remember to give a big smile for the cameras, and don't forget to savour your moment. Thank you very much.
Now for the handing of the scrolls. The graduands walk across the stage to collect their scroll from the presiding officer.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chris Good. I'm the head of the School of Mathematics, and it is my happy duty to call the graduands up so that they become graduates of the University of Birmingham. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduands as listed in my programme, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in absentia, to the degree for which they are to be presented.
So please remember, this is a celebration, it's not a church, and as Marika said, you can make as much noise as possible when your people come up. So, let's start. College of Arts and Law, School of Philosophy, Theology and Religion, Bachelor of Arts, Mathematics and Philosophy, Alex Papaloizou. College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, School of Engineering, Doctor of Philosophy. For research into the fair and just management of rivers and lakes, Bryony Bowman. For research into innovation methods and frameworks used in railways, Alex Burrows. For research into optimising rainwater harvesting in arid and semi-arid regions, Safa Ahmed Ibrahim. For research into artificial intelligence techniques to improve the strategic management of road safety, Bosong Jiao. For research into inversion of quantum technology gravity gradient data, Winner Odonayu Oni. For research into sustainable municipal solid waste management systems in megacities, Ishmael Onungwe. Master of Science, Advanced Engineering Management, Construction Management, Saksham Dhingra. Advanced Engineering Management, Systems Management, Sasipa Sewapanoth. Geotechnical Engineering, Dale Fisher. Railway Safety and Control Systems, Tinapera Matata. Railway Systems Engineering and Integration, Stuart Martin Kane. Structural Engineering, Queen Madonna Chenge. Harshavardhan Maligere Narayana. Master of Science, Philippa Sarah Hoskins. Damien Jones. Miran Angelo Jothinath. Alan Kaira Sora. Master of Engineering, Civil and Railway Engineering, Rebecca Kirby. Civil and Railway Engineering with Industrial Year, Ben Adam Turner. Anders Beavis Berry. Civil Engineering, Rami Abdella. Ibrahim Chowdhury. Oliver William Cox. Thomas Gill. Wen Jie He. Serling Ho. Mohammed Ibra. Matthew Inman. Mohammed Hanan Khan. Johannes Schroeder-Kutzea. Jamie Kung. Phil Justin Limon Motera. Moyo Soreo Loa Ojo. Amina Qureshi. Mohammed Naim Rahman. Angel Sahi. Pak Chu Yung. Civil Engineering International Study, James Jin Howarth. Civil Engineering with Industrial Experience, Ahmed Ismaili Ahmedi. Osman Tariq Osman. Civil Engineering with Industrial Year, Rais Uwais Ansar. Nicola Martina Bocek. Nicholas Longhay Said. Matthew James Wilkinson. Bachelor of Engineering, Civil Engineering, Mukhtar Abdiran Abikar. Zakaria Ahmed. Sami Al-Shameri. Luxan Arumaina Yagum. Mariam Busala. Ernest Hon Hei Chan. Arshaya Daz. Matthew Anthony Dixon. Shayan Kirmani. Benedict Zerchung Lee. Ricky Mail. Ibrahim Malik. Hayan Mahmood Malik. Krishna Sayakobi. Ragulan Selva Kumar. Wing Yan Sato. Mohammed Ibrahim Shahif. Tin Shum Sin. Jun Yan Ju. Civil Engineering with Industrial Year, Adam Khaleg Odali. Jawad Chowdhury. Ella Bethany Dowling. Hassan Imran. Mohammed Rahim. Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering, Ruika Wang. School of Mathematics, Doctor of Philosophy, for research into mathematical modelling of cancer metabolism and therapy, Roba Mossab Abu Kwaik. For research into the mathematical modelling to determine the duration of chemical clock reactions, Aliyah Ali A'asala. For research into how mathematical models can be used to tailor and predict treatment outcomes for people with adrenal insufficiency, Rosemary Lily Evans. For research into the mathematics of networks and other discrete structures, Andrea Freschi. For research into algebraic groups and Lie algebras, Matthew Pickering. For research into a class of non-associative algebras related to groups, Yunxi Shi. For research into convex analysis and optimization on manifolds of constant negative curvature, Jinzhen Zhu. Master of Science, Mathematical Finance, James Dodsworth. Master in Science, Mathematics, Jack Aldridge. Oliver Bryan. Lawrence Farmer. Owen Farrell. Daniel Anthony David Fears. Charlotte Henry. Daniel Holland. Saffron Huan Cormican. Emma Jane Huntley. Thomas Edward Munn. Ansha Oluwatomiloore Oluwade. Samuel Priest. Sophie Reed. Daniel Thomas Walton. And Alex Winter. Mathematics and Computer Science, Syed Azim Ali. Marways Andival. Khadija Safia Rahman. Tushar Rana. Jacob Swales. Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, Saji Ali. Joseph Baggott. Jack Belcher. Taylor Belfort. Isabel Benson. Amelia Boehm. And Rohan Dahia.
As I mentioned earlier, this is an important year for the University of Birmingham. We're celebrating our 125th anniversary. As part of an exciting programme of activities and events, we've invited distinguished members of our university community to deliver a special anniversary speech. We hope that these will guide, inspire and entertain you. Each speaker is the recipient of a 125th anniversary award, which they're wearing with pride. The award is a beautiful brooch, which has been created by the university's research partner, Cooks on Gold. They're a manufacturer based in Birmingham's famous jewellery quarter, Cooks on Gold working together with its sister company, Weston Beamore. So this afternoon's speaker is the Lord Lieutenant of the West Midlands, Derek Anderson, CBE. Derek is a highly respected figure in the public sector with over 30 years of senior leadership experience in local government. Serving as Chief Executive of Wolverhampton City Council and later the London Borough of Lambeth, he oversaw major regeneration, reform and engagement initiatives. Since retiring from executive roles, Derek has dedicated himself to national and community-facing roles, including the Home Office Policing Ministerial Reference Group, Sport England and BSO UK. He's currently Chair of Trustees at the Wave Trust, a trustee and director of Our Hope charity, and a non-executive director of the UK Municipal Bond Agency. Derek was awarded a CBE in 2003 for services to local government, and he was named Public Leader of the Year at the Guardian Public Services Awards in 2012. In August 2024, he was appointed His Majesty's representative in the West Midlands. Derek holds honorary doctorates from the University of Birmingham and Staffordshire University, recognising his lifelong commitment to social inclusion and public service. Please join me in warmly welcoming our distinguished guest, the Lord Lieutenant of the West Midlands, Derek Anderson, CBE, as he delivers this anniversary speech to you, the class of 2025.
Technology, belt and braces. PVC's university community, members of the academic staff, friends, parents, graduates and graduates. I have to say, when I was invited to speak, I looked at the brief and thought, do I really want to do this? Because I have an abhorrence for people who stand before the masses and preach as if they know it all and that you should simply follow what's said. I changed my mind, actually, because I thought, well, maybe I've got one or two things to say, one or two things that might be useful, particularly to those graduating and those graduated. So I changed my mind. I thought, however, that I'd adapt the brief, and rather than talking at you, I'd have a conversation with myself. So I'm stealing the BBC letter to your younger self format, and I'm going to talk to my younger self. Bear with me as I read to you my letter to myself. Dear younger me, age 21 and 3 months, a graduate 47 years ago. It's the day of your graduation. I know you're experiencing mixed emotions. At one level, there's excitement about the celebration. You've achieved that academic success. At another level, you finally reach that threshold where you're looking to go out into the real world and deal with its life and joy and challenges. I know you're very eager to prove yourself, to build a successful career and pay back those that have helped you through what's been a challenging childhood and adolescence. As your older self, however, with the benefit of 5 decades of experience, it's my pleasure to provide you with a head start and share some of the wisdoms I wish someone would have given me at your stage in life. Think of these insights as guidelines for planning your journey into an uncertain world of work and life. Now, looking back over my career, I now realize there are about 5 dominant learning points that have proved critical in helping me navigate my long journey through work and family life. Whilst I remember, and I hope you don't mind, I intend to share this letter with the 5 learning points with all of the UOB graduates of 2025. And I hope you don't mind listening. The 5 learning points I want to explore and share about finding your purpose, values and ethics, embracing adaptability, committing to lifelong learning and professional development, but most importantly, also keeping balance between ambition and well-being. And if you manage to keep these things in mind, you'll navigate the twists and the turns of your career with grace, with fulfillment, but most importantly, with integrity. Integrity. So first, let's look at purpose. Ground your work in a clear sense of purpose. When I was in your shoes, after graduating, I had a lot of advice from professionals around me suggesting I should focus my thinking on building some kind of career plan based on prestigious job titles and salaries. Having listened to many of those wise owls, I reverted to my default supreme advisor, our mother, who, in passing conversation, and I've tidied up the English bit and the syntax as well, said to me, knowing why you do what you do is far more important than any superficial indication of success. Purpose, she said, is the fundamental reason for your existence, the thing that drives us towards meaningful goals and meaningful achievements. It goes beyond mere ambition or salary. It gives you a sense of direction and a sense of significance. What I took from that conversation was that when your work aligns with your core values and your passion, you'll more likely wake up in the morning relishing the day's challenge with motivation and with energy. Every day you'll feel much more meaningful because you know you're contributing to something that matters to you. In fact, if you develop a passionate sense of purpose, you'll become more resilient and more engaged in your work and achieve a higher sense of job satisfaction. And job satisfaction is critical and important. Remember this, my first boss, or rather our first boss, as I'm speaking for myself, older and younger, after graduation in 1979, once said to me, you can work incredibly hard, but without a guiding purpose, you may find yourself climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. So define your purpose to success on your terms. Ask yourself what kind of work feels meaningful to you. What problems in the world or in your community do you care about solving? What talents do you have that you love to use? Use these questions to set your lifestyle and your career compass. Career compass. Now, learning point two, alongside purpose, your core values and ethical considerations should guide you at every fork in the road. Fairness, integrity, compassion, curiosity, perseverance, equality. Choose 3, 4, or even 5. I've got 6 or 7. Let them inform the organisations you're prepared to work with, the clients you take on, the colleagues you trust, and the causes you champion. When negotiations go hostile and the causes you champion, when negotiations go hostile, when shortcuts tempt you, those values and ethical considerations will guide you, should guide you. They'll remind you that success without soul corrodes your brand and your reputation very, very quickly. The third thing I want to share with you is about adaptability, your ability to embrace change. You need to prepare yourself because the world you're about to enter is going to keep changing at a relentless pace. One of the most crucial traits you can cultivate is adaptability. Everyone knows that the traditional idea of the single-line lifetime career will eventually disappear altogether. In the future, graduates will likely hold several jobs in different sectors of their lifetime. I myself have held 9 jobs in my lifetime thus far. Life's taught me that it's not the strongest or the smartest who succeed in the world of work, but those who can best adapt. This will also, I think, apply to your career more broadly. Surprises will come. Industries will boom and bust. Companies will restructure. Your interests will evolve. And the ones who will flourish will be those who work with the grain of change rather than resist it. Now, let me assure you, it's okay if your path deviates from what you think today. I certainly didn't predict the twists and turns my own career took. You'll probably start in one field and discover a passion's important, in another field. You might face an unexpected job loss or a sudden opportunity that leads you in a new direction. These pivots aren't failures. Look at them as chances to grow. Each change, even the unwelcome ones, can teach you new skills and open doors you didn't know existed. So keep an open mind. The world will surprise you with opportunities you can't foresee today. If you stay adaptable and curious, you'll not only navigate change, you'll harness it to your advantage. Some of the most rewarding chapters in my life have happened because I was brave enough to adapt and reinvent myself when the circumstances dictated I do so. On to the fourth point, if I may. Lifelong learning, professional development. Not keeping up by learning throughout your career is the same, in my mind, as preparing for professional death. As you venture into your career, there's a trap. And that trap is thinking that education ends with your degree. Your degree is only the beginning. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, as I found out later in life, is to become a lifelong learner. The degree you've earned is substantial foundation, but the world will keep evolving, and there will always be a need for new knowledge and new skills for you to acquire. Now, the people around me through my career who truly excelled and remained fulfilled for decades in their career were those who constantly learned, constantly unlearned, and constantly relearned. Learnt, unlearned, and relearned. The knowledge and the techniques that were cutting edge when I graduated needed updating a few years later. Innovation, technologies emerge, industries were transformed, and even my understanding of best practice needed to be modified and altered. Now, by now, I hope you'll have noticed that the themes are starting to interconnect. In fact, continuous learning, new things will make you more adaptable by default because you're constantly expanding what you can do and how you think. On a professional level, by continuously updating your skills, you'll stay competitive, you'll increase your job security and open new opportunities. Every time you learn something new, you'll invest in yourself, and that investment will pay dividends in the form of new contracts, promotions, or even entirely new career paths, as well as potential accolades. You'll find that at each stage of your career, you'll have new skills to master and new insights to gain. Embrace all of that stuff. Remember, you will not thrive, though, in isolation. You should map out a constellation of mentors, of sponsors, and peers who believe in you, even when priorities shift. Finally, and I think most importantly, learning point 5, and that's find the right balance between ambition and well-being. And this is something, again, I wish I'd understood much earlier in my career, the balance between burning ambition to achieve and personal well-being, whether personal well-being in terms of health, happiness, or relationships. At graduation, it's inevitable that you're going to be full of drive and full of energy, ready to take on every challenge, as I was at my exit interview, ready to change the world. And that drive will serve you well, but listen, here's a fundamental truth. If you don't balance your ambition with taking care of yourself, you'll burn out. And I came close to learning this the hard way on more than one occasion. The key to a progressive career is a sustainable balance between the pursuit of goals and ensuring that that passion does not cost you in terms of health or happiness. I'm almost there. Now, long-term success truly means enjoying the journey as well as the destination. Pushing yourself relentlessly without rest isn't a sustainable strategy. It isn't a sustainable strategy. It's a fast track to exhaustion. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't be ambitious. It simply means you mustn't let ambition consume your entire life to the point that you lose sight of what truly matters. How to balance ambition with well-being starts with self-awareness and self-care. Listen to your mind, listen to your body. If you're feeling chronically tired, if you're feeling anxious or empty despite all the achievements you've made, that's a signal something's off balance. Achieving a big goal means little if you're too burnt out to enjoy it, or if you sacrifice all your relationships, familiar and others, along the way. My second most influential boss said this to me very early in my career, and I'm sharing it with my younger self and with the young people out there as well. There were two mantras that I have never forgotten and always lived by. The first is the cemetery is full of indispensable people. And the second is the mortgage is too high a price to pay for your sanity. Never forget these important realities. Now, just one last thing before I sign off. There'll inevitably be times when you stumble or you doubt yourself. In those moments, come back to those 5 core learning points. They'll be your steady guide and they'll help you realign with what truly matters. Know that every experience, good or bad, is helping shape you into the kind of resilient person you need to be to take yourself into the future. Trust the journey. Stay authentic. Stay true to yourself. And be kind to yourself along the way. Believe in yourself. Keep your heart and your mind open and enjoy every step forward. Hopefully, we'll be cheering each other on for a few more years to come. All the best for a long and successful journey. Yours truly, your older self, with all the wisdom I wish I had 47 years ago, but now with considerably less hair. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Lieutenant, at the end. For those powerful words: purpose, core values, adaptability, lifelong learning, and most importantly, balance. I think wise words for all of us to ponder on. So, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, Joseph Davey. Jonah Davies Hutchcox. Oscar Dawson. Iona Dennis. Manav Gadri. Ejun Gao. Alan William Gregson Watkins. Mohammed Hassan. Christine Henn. Harvey Hall Williams. Amy Hodinott. Jessica Hurdley. Amara Idris. James Islip. Ahmed Jamil. Elliot Jones. Joe Jones. Samuel Keeble. Dennis Larkin. Yong Han Lin. Anna Lingham. Jason Lowe. Kaya Nilesh Mahavir. Aaron Mann. Matthew Anthony Martin. Isabella Metcalf. Michael Morris. Samuel Nyman. Louise Nunn. Louise Nunn. Kieran Jonah Patterson. Roman Picard Soumagne. Mohammed Arifur Rahman. Suna Rani. Francis Ream. Leon Rushworth. Halima Safa. Rhea Seagull. Sarah Shafiq. Lillian Snell. Maya Sohal. Isabel Megan Soulsby. Jemima Hannah Spence. Joe Stride. Kang Wen Sun. Marcin Sporarski. Agash Thayaparan. Isabel Tuck. Aman Ka Ubi. Junya Wang. Miles Willits. Joe Williams. Joseph Dennis Williams. Elliot Wright. Jiahang Wu. Karchun Matthew Young. Jack Zanker. Qingyuan Zhan. Fatima Zia. Mathematics and Computer Science, Kieran Allen. Saad Arbab. Wenqi Bao. Kavarusi Bhaskaran. Seman Cheng. Tausif Chowdhury. Jamie Cook. Mohamed Dankora. David Jarmers. Thomas Kelly. Owen King. Charlie Moon. Scarlett Naraidu. Aaron Radguro. Dejanea Roberts. Radon Shakiri. Elliot Transfield. Daniel Williams. Dylan Williams. Mathematics and Computer Science with Industrial Year, Abigail Helen Knox. Nicole Lawrence. Emma Lowther. Ava Lowther. I'm so sorry. Ava Lowther. Matthew Kar-Chun Lee. Owen Rowlands. Mathematics with a year in industry, Umar Arshad. Sarah Crooks. Joshua Daniel Geyer. Joel Griffiths. Thomas Lomas. Sarah Margarida Paiva Pereira. Rihanna Annika Raja. Alfie Jacob Wild. Mathematics with Business Management, Jiaqi Chen. Joel Halliwell. Ying Tong Jiang. Shimao Li. An Chi Min. Jianhui Wang. Yachi Yu. Mathematics with Business Management with a year in Computer Science, Ethan Gilmore. Maya Alice Lambert. Mathematics with International Year, Helen Delaney. Jack Edward Lawson. Ria Shah. Alexandra Nicole Rogers. Ben Underwood. So I think now we have Master of Science, Tonya Edmund Altrada. Stop. You go first. And last but by no means least, College of Social Sciences, Birmingham Business School, Master of Science, International Business, Aditya Sharma. So well done, everybody has graduated. And now it's my great pleasure to ask Kaya Nilesh Mahavir to come up and give the address on behalf of the students.
Wow. A warm welcome to fellow graduates, staff, academics, family and friends. My name is Kaya Mahavir, and it is a great honour to stand here today as the student speaker for the School of Mathematics and School of Engineering graduation ceremony. And to the class of 2025, congratulations, we did it. From the pigeonhole principle to the dread of pressing run on MATLAB, we have spent our time at university cultivating highly sought-after skills of problem-solving, logical thinking, innovation and resilience. Skills that will aid us in our future paths as mathematicians and engineers, no matter which direction we diverge in. However, one thing is certain, I will always double-check that 1 + 1 is 2 on my calculator. Over 3 years ago, I first came to visit the University of Birmingham on an offer holder day. I remember my mum likening the campus to a little village in this huge city. And it's a city which has become home to all of us these past 3 years. I think I can speak on behalf of all of us here today when I say that this university is special. But the people made it extraordinary. From moving into student halls in Freshers' Week to late-night projects and spirited competition in groups like UB Racing, our time at university has been nothing short of unforgettable. We've built more than just academic knowledge. We forged communities. Take MathSoc, for example, a society which tries to combat the stereotype that maths students can't socialise. Because we can, I promise. We just need a lot of free pizza to do it. And Domino's certainly delivered. In Freshers' Week 2022, I signed up to the Family Scheme, which joins a group of first years with 2 old year parents to help ease the transition into university. I was one of 30 children adopted into the Long family, and my maths parents would hold a weekly family night where we did escape rooms, family meals, and even a Star Wars movie marathon. It was through this scheme that I became vice president and later president of the society, and made friends I would know will last a lifetime. I'd like to take a moment to recognise the efforts of my fellow committee members and sports captains whose dedication continues to form the very core of the School of Mathematics. The absolute highlight, however, was becoming a maths parent to a group of the kindest children who I know are watching live. Anyone that knows me knows that I do not stop going on about my kids. And no offence to all the parents in the room, but my kids are the best kids. Having had the privilege to watch them grow academically, but also in confidence and character, it is clear how far we all have come as well-rounded individuals. We've all built our communities, relying on them during tough times, laughing with them during good. Personally, I will never forget board game nights, barbecues on the Vale, societies like ArtSoc, countless nights out, or working in such a brilliant team as a student ambassador under the ever-motivating Chris Kuznia. I'm sure there are countless other memories we all hold dear, and it is these that we cherish as we move on to the next chapter of our life. I would like to end with some thank yous. Take a moment to think about all those who have supported and guided you along the way. I'd first like to thank my parents for their endless support and some delightful home-cooked meals. Thank you to all the staff in maths and engineering who have devoted their time to our learning and betterment. I'd particularly like to thank my tutors, Andrew Trigline and Chris Good, for their unwavering help and stellar advice. Also, the postgraduate teaching assistants that marked all 70, yes, I did count, of our problem sheets, provided such a warm and welcoming environment during the Piscopia coffee mornings, and who worked in the Maths Support Centre in the library run by Chris Attenborough. I'd particularly like to thank Rosie, Kalina, Kylie, Amy, Charlotte, Sandeep, Rahma and Ricky. And finally, to every person that has had a hand in shaping the last few years of our lives. The main characters, the side characters, the one-hit wonders and everyone in between. Thank you all. So what's next? Whether you're mentally preparing to start paying the taxman, continuing on in academia, or have no clue, we are all stepping into a new chapter of our lives. We survived 9 a.m. lectures, 2 a.m. library sessions, and the Birmingham bin crisis. We're ready to take on whatever comes next with the resilience and collaborative spirit that the University of Birmingham has instilled in us. So here's to us, the class of 2025. Thank you.
Just one more speech. Hello everyone, I am Professor Deborah Longworth and I'm the Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Education at the University of Birmingham, and I am really delighted to have had the privilege of sharing in your celebrations today. As you embark on the next stage of your lives beyond university, I want to extend my congratulations to each and every one of you. Your hard work has brought you to this day and we are all immensely proud of you. Today marks the end of one kind of relationship with the university and the beginning of a new one. In graduating, you become a member of a distinguished family, a global network of more than 400,000 members in over 170 countries, the alumni of the University of Birmingham. Our graduates engage in an astonishing array of projects and professions. They include Nobel Prize winners, pioneering engineers, celebrated authors, Olympic medalists, successful entrepreneurs, inspiring educators, influential policymakers, groundbreaking clinicians, and more. As you look ahead, I hope that your time with us has inspired you, and we look forward to seeing the achievements, significant whether large or small, that you will make in the world in the years to come. For it is the collective impact of the thousands of our graduates over the past 125 years that makes our university so great. The achievements that you will make in your careers, the successes you will achieve in your personal lives, the impact you will have on those around you, the inspiration you will be for the generations of students that follow you. If you have time today, I invite you to walk down the corridors to either side of this great hall and to explore the museum objects, artworks, manuscripts, photographs and films that tell the stories of the people behind the founding of the university and the stories of those who have been part of its life over the last century and a quarter. These include the story of Sir Oliver Lodge, a renowned scientist dedicated to public engagement through popular science, open lectures and radio broadcasts, and who, as our first principle, championed student inclusion, supported the women's suffrage movement and involved students for the first time in university governance. As well as the story of Ranjit Sondhi, who arrived in the UK on a scholarship, came to Birmingham and earned a degree in theoretical physics. His father wanted him to pursue a life in science, but he chose a different path, founding the Asian Resource Centre in Birmingham and dedicating his life to education, equality and public service, including 2 decades as a lecturer in community education here at the university. His influence extended nationally through roles on bodies such as the Commission for Racial Equality, the BBC and the Criminal Cases Review Commission. These are just 2 of the stories that give the university its meaning and its purpose, stories of discovery, perseverance, creativity and courage. And now your stories are going to join theirs. Each of you is a chapter in the university's rich history, and through your experiences in seminars and studios, laboratories and libraries, through challenges and celebrations, you have both shaped as well as been shaped by our community. All of you will have a unique story, one which is different to those around you. Lectures which opened your mind to new ideas, field trips that brought new life to your study, early mornings revising in the library, late nights with friends in the guild, Wednesday afternoons spent on the sports pitches or the stage. The history of the university is one of creativity and vision. It is a story of ambition, dedication, breakthroughs and achievement, of learning from failures and of working collectively to success. These may already be the hallmarks of your own story, and they will no doubt shape your future. Standing on this stage at our formal opening more than a century ago, the then King Edward VII laid down a challenge to the students in the room. He said to them, "I say that the honour and dignity of this university are largely in your hands, and I look to you to initiate and hand down worthy traditions to your successors." One of our longest-standing traditions, and one that you're about to take part in today, is that as our new graduates leave the Great Hall, you process out under the arch of Old Joe, whose distinctive timekeeping will have provided part of the daily soundtrack to your studies for the past 3 or 4 years. But there are many other greater traditions for you to follow and for you to build. Each one of you is part of the legacy of Birmingham, and the contribution that our next 125 years makes to the world begins with you. We will miss you, class of 2025, but we will watch your future journeys with pride and with anticipation. Many congratulations to you all. I now declare the congregation closed.
The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni has come to an end. The procession begins to stream out of the Great Hall, carrying with them the maces that were set down at the start of the ceremony. It's a nice bit of visual poetry that bookends the ceremony. As those maces are carried forward, so too are our graduates onto their next adventure. This is a powerful moment for our graduates, representing the culmination of years of dedicated study. The education, connections, and friendships they have made at Birmingham will last a lifetime. The University of Birmingham is known for producing great thinkers, change-makers, and innovators. From Nobel Prize winners to sporting champions, this institution has shaped minds that go on to make a real difference in the world. Today's graduates are stepping into that legacy, ready to make their mark, whether they're heading into research, launching businesses, or, let's be honest, finally taking a proper break before the next adventure begins. From the Great Hall to the wider world, our graduates will carry the knowledge, ambition, and spirit of Birmingham in their next chapter. Wherever you're watching from, this is not just an ending, it is the beginning of something exceptional.